Good morning, good afternoon, good evening, wherever you are in the world. I am Jen Sugarmeyer, your host of Mindset in the Morning, and we are here live 5 days a week at 6 a.m. Central Standard Time. But because this is YouTube, you can tune in whenever. But I'm here live 6 a.m. Central Standard Time. And usually I'm here in this studio. But as if you tuned in on Friday, you saw that I was in Nashville, Tennessee, and it was an amazing, amazing trip. I got to promote my latest book, which is Confidence is Queen, on their local CBS station. And it was just an incredible day. I also got to interview an amazing individual for the magazine that I work for, and all around just a great day. So now I am back in my home and we are going into our 30th week. That's right. We have been doing this every single day now for 30 weeks. There is so much content out there that if you are just joining in for the first time, you could be listening for days. I don't know about days. These are all 20 minutes long, but there is so much content out there. So you can scroll back through. What I would encourage you is hit that like button, hit the subscribe button. And when you go to the channel, there's a section called videos. I think it's videos. And you go through there and you'll see all the content. So you can pick up wherever. They are all individual. You don't have to watch them in the row, but you can if you want. So what do we do here on Mindset in the Morning? It is all things mindset. We talk about this holy trinity of health, which is mind, body, soul. And we know we need to work out our bodies. We know we need to take care of our soul and our spirit. But what are we doing every day for our mind? And it isn't one of these topics that we need to push away and say, that's for other people. I got it. Mind work, mindset work, mental health. This isn't like a bath that you do once. This is something that you do every single day, which, by the way, if you watch me consistently, I'm on this comparison kick of mindset and baths. That has become it's just stuck in my head, but it's true. You take a bath once and you feel good, but you got to do it again. And that's exactly how exercising your mental muscle is. You've got to do it every single day. So we talk about real things on this show that are going to help you become the most powerful version of yourself every single day. So today we're going to talk about what you can do to be your best, and what the best thing that you can do for the world today is. And I was watching this video, and it was an Oprah interview. I guess not a video. It was an Oprah interview, and it was this woman who was pushing through her life. And I thought, how many of us are just pushing through? We're pushing through every single day. And I think with COVID, for many, especially the proof is in the numbers, that women especially were pushing through because they were taking on the typical, mom role at home. Plus they were working full time, and, the kids were at home. And so they were like teachers and, just doing all the things. So there was this really high burnout that happened during COVID that we experienced. So a few things resulted in that. Many women stepped out of the workforce, or they reduced their positions, or they reduced the amount of hours that they were working. So a lot of things were starting to happen as a result of COVID because there was such high burnout. And it's so easy for any of us to put other people first and just say yes and to keep going, because we have so many responsibilities. I mean, we've got to pay our bills, and we've got to, our job and our kids and our family and our relationships. And I mean, you name it, we've got a mortgage, whatever that may be. There are so many things that we are doing day in and day out. I mean, who has time to not be pushing through? Like, I have to push through in order to get these things done, because if I don't get them done, I can't pay my bills, to live in my house, to take care of my kids, it's all cyclical. It's all just one big, everything like a domino, everything impacts the other thing. And so you have to push forward, right? Like, what's the other option? Okay, well, yeah, I absolutely understand. I live in this world too. This world is crazy. The interview that I saw with Oprah, and I would say this is a lot more extreme, and I believe it's a story that we all need to hear. And it was this woman who finally, after a year, started coming forward and talking about her story, because it was so painful for her to deal with. And she was rushing around. It was her first day of school. She was an administrator in an elementary school, I believe. And it was just crazy. She's been under intense stress. and pressure. She's just a lot of anxiety. I mean, this resonates, right? Like that's like all of us. And, her husband usually took their 2-year-old, I think it was, to the daycare, but he had something going on this morning. So he was like, "Hey, hon, do you mind taking the little girl into daycare?" And so she was going around. She went and stopped and got donuts at the store, for her team. It was the first day back at school. And then she got the donuts and she went on to school. And then she went in and, um, 8 hours later, someone walked by her vehicle, came and found her and said, "Your daughter's in the vehicle." And it was the middle of summer and it was over 100 degrees. And we won't prolong the story. The child passed away. And so this woman was coming forward and saying, "If you are pushing through, here's my story. Here is my story that we need to all be aware of because things can happen." And the reason we need to slow down, and we talk about this all the time on the show, is that when we are in a state of suffering, when we are anxious, when we are stressed out, when we are angry, when we're full of resentment, when we have anything that we don't feel good in, I call that a state of suffering. I mean, you could be embarrassed, that's suffering. If you are in one of these states, you do not have clarity of mind. And this woman was an example. I mean, her child was in the back seat and she even got to the school and completely forgot. I mean, and these things happen. We forget things from time to time. But when we are pushing, when we are putting too much on our plate, when we are stressed out, when we are anxious, then we have a higher capacity of not operating at our best because we know that these states of suffering is not when we are at our best. We know that we do not have clarity of mind. We know that we don't have peace and flow. That's in its own category. That is literally the opposite of being in a state of suffering. The opposite is clarity, flow, joy, peace, happiness, kindness, a powerful state of being. So they are the complete opposite. It's like oil and water and they don't mix. And that's why when we are in these states, we are polarizing where we want to be. This takes over. So we have to take care of ourselves. We have to put ourselves first and get ourselves away from these states of being because it could be dangerous. It can be downright dangerous. Yeah, but I have my bills and I have my this and I have my that. All right. So here's the best thing that you can do for yourself today. Connect with yourself. Connect with yourself. Ask yourself throughout the day, how am I feeling? How do I feel now? What's going on with me? You see, if you don't have that level of awareness with yourself, if you don't have that connectivity, then how do you know? You're just pushing through, pushing through. It's like if you step on a nail, you're like, it's okay. I'll just keep pushing on it. What's eventually going to happen? It's going to pop through your foot because you're pressing on a nail. There is a reason. There's absolutely a reason why we are given these feelings. It's to help guide us. Pain is a good thing if you use it to alert you. Pain isn't bad. Pain will tell you that you are stepping on a nail, that hold on, back up, because that nail is going to hurt you. That pain is going to tell you that the stove is hot, remove your hand. That pain is going to tell you that something is going on inside of you that you need to address. So pain can lead us to the doctors that are going to tell us that something is going on. There's something that needs to be addressed. If we don't have that pain, then would we go to the doctor? Would we get it fixed? Or would we just push through? And what happens if we push through? Well, it's your health we're talking about. But that's in everything. It's not just your health. It's not just the stove. It is your every single day emotions telling you something isn't right. Something isn't right. But you only know that if you have that connectivity with yourself. I like to think of those, those posters when you were a child. There's so much we can learn from children, by the way. When you were like 5 years old and your teacher was like, "How are you feeling today?" And you were like, "Oh, I'm, mad, I'm angry, I'm sad." It's probably the only three emotions that we had at that time. But the truth is, there were like 200 pictures. I'm embarrassed, I'm confused, I'm angry, I'm, resentful, all of these emotions. Do we check in as adults? Are we checking in and saying, "Hey, how do I feel today?" And allowing the answer, whatever the truthful answer. So you've got to be okay, you've got to be truthful. You can't be like, "No, I'm fine. I'm fine. I'm fine. I got this. I got this." And yet like you're like burning up, like you've got to be truthful. If you are being truthful with yourself, then that should tell you what you need to do next. That should help give you a framework. Hey, I'm stepping on a nail. I should back up. Hey, this stove is hot. I should remove my hand. Hey, I'm really angry. Something needs to change. Why am I angry? Why am I upset? Why am I anxious? Why am I frustrated? Why am I stressed out? Why am I all of these things? That is your clue. That is a gift that is given to you to then dig deeper into what is truly going on so that you can then go to your own doctor and take care of the issue. Just like if you have pain inside of you and you go to the actual doctor, if you are in a state of suffering, that is your opportunity to now go to your own doctor. I don't mean the doctor, I'm using this as a metaphor. That's your opportunity to ask yourself what is going on and make a change. We know we do not have the peace and clarity, and that's where we want to be. Whenever we are angry, we have cortisol, there's all kinds of toxins. This isn't just an anger. They're being released in our body. It's a defense mechanism that happens. Oh, we get so angry. And sometimes it might even feel good to be a little angry sometimes. Okay. There was actually a study that was done. I was listening to this yesterday. There was a study that was done, and they were testing all of these different emotions and what was triggering in the brain. And they found that people did like to, there was like this rush that we get when we get angry sometimes. But anger is a state of suffering, and it is not keeping us in our most powerful state. There's never been a time where I did something like punched a wall or kicked a can full of water when I had clarity of mind. I always did that when I was angry. And I've seen other people do that too. That's when people, road rage happens. I've been there. And that's when, I mean, God forbid somebody take out a gun and shoot someone because they're just so angry at what they've done. Anger can provoke so many emotions within inside of us. All of these can. You see, our bodies are designed to protect us. And so when you have this foreign feeling, and all of these states of suffering are foreign, it wants to protect it. So there's this fight or flight that's happening. We are not in flow. We are trying to protect ourselves. Think about, Pavlov's hierarchy of needs. I call it my perfect storm. When I need to use the restroom and I'm hungry, that's like the worst. Like, you don't want to be around me when I'm angry, or not when I'm angry, when I'm hungry and when I need to use the restroom, because I'm just so uncomfortable. And what is my body doing? I'm just like, okay, all right, where's the bathroom? Where's the bathroom? Where's their food? Where's their food? And that's all I can think about in that moment, because we are trying as humans to protect ourselves and fulfill our needs. Whether we're making that conscious decision or not, that's what's happening. So when you go into these states of suffering, your body in some way is trying to protect it. And maybe that is by releasing these toxins. Maybe that is by some action that you're doing. Maybe that is by some inaction that you're doing. But it is designed to protect you, not necessarily get you moving forward. So when I'm angry and I punch a wall, it's because I'm so mad and I don't know what to do with this anger that I'm just releasing it on this wall. But it's not a powerful state of being. And if I was in my right mind, I would think through this, because what can happen? It is very dangerous. I could break my hand. I could bust the wall. I could hurt someone else. But we're so busy trying to feel good that sounds like a good idea. So when we are pushing through, when we are stressing ourselves out, when we are frustrated, when we are all of these states of being that put us over here in what I call suffering, our behaviors are not aligning with what we typically would if we were in a beautiful state of being, if we had peace, if we had clarity. So this is where we want to be. And how do we get here? It's by asking yourself, hey, how are you? And when you know, make a change, act on whatever that is. Remember those 4 words, 1 question that we always ask. So when you know, ask yourself, does this serve me? Does it serve me to be in this state of being? Well, Jen says that if we're in a state of suffering, that's not our most powerful state of being. And we're not bringing our best self to the table. That there are things that are happening internally that are actually working against us. So the answer is no. So what can you do to start to push back? And we're going to dig into some of those this week. But I really want you just today, the most powerful thing that you can do is to connect with yourself. Let's not try to tackle everything all today. Ask yourself, how am I feeling? Do constant check-ins. In fact, if you want, do check-ins and write it down. Write it on your phone, carry around a little paper. Pretend this is like counting calories. Have you ever done one of those diets where you just count all your calories? Pretend you're counting your calories and log it. How are you feeling? And then maybe write the reason why, like what was going on, or just write the feeling so that at the end of the day, you can see angry, mad, happy, sad, angry, mad, happy, sad. You can see exactly what you were feeling throughout the day. Because when you know better, then you can do better. And so it's starting with you. The best thing you can do for yourself, for your family, for the world is to take care of you. Because when you show up more powerfully, you are able to do more in a positive way. When we are pushing through, we are not doing this world a service. We know, and I'll end with this statistic, that happy employees are 12% more productive. So I know this statistic about the workplace. I'm sure it applies comparably to personal life as well. So when we are happy, we are more productive, period. If you are not happy, then you are not advancing the world. You're not helping yourself. You're not helping your family, your friends, all of these, because you are not at your highest productivity. We know this. So I'm going to leave you with that today. So as you go out into the world, ask yourself, how am I feeling? How am I doing? And just start to have that level of awareness today. That's all. That's all. Remember those feelings on the wall? What am I feeling? Maybe Google them so that you have an awareness of what are all the feelings I could be feeling. Maybe start there. So with that, We are done for the day. This has been our Mindset in the Morning today. This is, again, our 30th week. And if you have not yet, hit that like button, hit that subscribe button. You'll actually be able to help somebody who needs to hear this message today, because that is how we grow this algorithm. So hit that like button, hit that subscribe button, and I will see you back here, same time, same place tomorrow. Remember, as you go out today, ask yourself how you're feeling, how you're doing, and go live your best life. All right. I'll see you tomorrow. Cheers.